Okay, real quick, so I can do this before the sun goes down. Little mic over here. Okay, it makes noise. So I'm going to be showing off the kastle drum and the original kastle, or not original, but the kastle 1.5 synth. I have them, I'll zoom out in a minute, but they're both hooked up to the Bassel Dude Mixer, which is ultimately running through the thyme that I'm using as kind of another way to limit the output from the mixer. But as it stands right now, I have nothing patched. I'll turn the kastle decay to 12 o'clock. And to start hearing sounds out of it, I need to take something from the stepped output and patch that. Usually I patch that into one of the modulation paths, so I'll patch it to the drum mod first. I use these little tweezers so we don't have to look at my hands, so I don't have to look at my hands later. And let's see how this goes. Yep, there it goes. And I can adjust the decay on this. I have the drum sound and the pitch. These are the bass lines, and these are the offsets, and then these are the actual modulation. So it's the pitch, it's the drum, it's gone. Turn the decay this way. And then also I can change, right now the pattern is generated randomly, so I can, if I adjust the feed input, as it's called on this guy, I take that from here, now it changes it to some new random pattern. Start taking other things. So I can take the drum output, patch that into the decay. And then I can randomize it again by unplugging the feed. And I have a new one. An interesting thing I found the other day is if I take the stepped pattern output and get 3 copies of it, I can send that to this weird little, I forget what this one is for. If I send it here, and this also has this standard LFO instead of the pattern output, so I can take I think the triangle LFO and put that on the pitch mod, and then that changes the tempo, that I can speed up the tempo mod. Actually, I don't know what I'm doing at this one. The fun thing about these is you can also connect these to, oh, that's interesting. Really slow. I wonder what's going to change next. You can also connect these together using these little, I think they're called default cables. But you can also take any of those and patch them to the I/O ports, and then those I/O ports you can have they hook up to left and right or tip and save or whatever, and you can then take those and use those to send or receive external clock or send or receive modulation. So right now I'm going to bring this other castle online, and I'm going to connect the clock from that to the reset, the LFO reset on the original castle. So here's the LFO reset input, and I plug that into the clock on here. Where is it? There it goes. And now this, you can see the only feedback you really get from these is what's happening with the little LED. It's hard to see, but this LED is now this clock is now some multiple of the clock coming out of the drum. And I'm going to start bringing in this castle now. See what it has. It has nothing because I don't have anything connected yet. So I'll take the nice things, I can mix and match between the two of them. I have to get longer cables, so that's why I'm always having them butted up this way, is because it makes it easier to get the attach between the two modules. But I can take, let's take the stepped output, put that on the timbre, go ahead and speed that up. This LFO, maybe I'll try it on the tempo mod. Adjust it. The knob movements can be very extreme on here, so I have to be subtle. I've seen other people take bigger knob attachments to put on so that you can have a little bit finer tuning of them, especially if you find that right spot. I saw another person do this technically. They did this one where they take the wave shape and patch that into the oscillator. It softens it and gives it a nice sound, and then I can take that oscillator output and run it to the wave shaper. It's kind of like a filter. Alright, and now I'm going to zoom out and show the rest of the setup. Okay, so I have, for the I/O, I'm going to now synchronize the clock on the time, which all this is currently running through, but it's all dry right now. I'm going to use this as the clock for the time, so I'll take clock over here and send that to the left. And if you look, you'll see this is blinking really, really slow. With this one, it'll catch up eventually. It's blinking super slow. I know I have, let me check on here, my sync source is set to clock. If I put down that, so I'm going to turn the sync on, turn the robot sync on. I'm going to go ahead and speed this up. Yeah. Okay. That's synchronized. I also have the original castle. I'm going to take its external output, and I'll take the step sequencer. That's always fun. And I'll hook that step sequencer up to the left output here, which is on this purple cable that is patched into the CV input of the time. And now I'm going to start turning on the time. So, start bringing the mix in. I'm turning this down right now. closer, I can turn off the drums. Something with the time, of course, is always to play with the freeze mode. There it goes. And if I turn it to decay, not decay, but this basically means each iteration of the freeze that repeats will get filtered up higher and higher. Well, I'm not really hearing it. That's the full freeze. There it goes. Bring the other one, dry back in. I'm gonna speed it up a bit forward. Spacing. And now I'm going to use the, I'll use a robot to take the stepped sequencer output from here and have that modulate the spacing, which should be robot select, and jiggle the spacing knob, and then jiggle the CV. And let's see. So we can see by the flashing on the mount of the robot, it's controlled like a slew or something. If I start turning this up, you can see it's now starting to adjust the spacing control. Gotta bring that filter back down so that I can the high notes. I don't have that. I don't go back to this. And the other thing I can do is set up I have it here, but I'm going to try this out, see how it works. I've experimented with this before, but I have the dude mixer, I have it split into one output is feeding the time, the other one is going back into itself on channel 5, but I have to turn this down. So this will create feedback. So I'm going to stop these for a minute. Let's turn off the drums. I'm going to turn off the other kastle. So if I start turning up the feedback, or they're starting to come in. So I'm thinking, I think if I get it low enough, if I get it short enough, I can capture it as a cheap, interesting way to make a bass drum frozen. I'm going to see how that works. So let's see if I do this. So that is just now that the feedback I had from channel 5 stuck in the frozen, the freeze mode on here. And now I can start bringing back in the rest of the rest of the town. So here's the other castle coming back in. And I'll start bringing the other, bring in the castle drum. And then let's do this. I'm going to link. This link links the tape speed so that it basically makes it, when I adjust the tape speed, it maintains the timing. It's like kind of a pitch shifting thing. So I can do. And then also, if I adjust the timing, I can slow it down. So slow down my face based on what I count in there. Let it decay naturally, and then I'm going to try this with the tape speed that's super dirty and really digital. Gross sounding. Let's see what happens if I blast it with feedback and then freeze it. Makes it feedback goes to the dry, that'll kill the original sound of the feedback. And now just bring in the gross digital of everything else. Alright, that's all I'm going to do. Bye everybody.